steps in your heart. He comes, ever comes. Hear in the sound of his sweet name. He comes, comes, ever comes. Baba, Baba, Meher, Baba, Baba. Baba, Meher Baba, Baba, Meher Baba. The sweet sound of his name unites all joy and pain, and the sparks of our lives join as one in his flame. Haven't you heard his silent call of love that burns within, releasing the fragrance our lives contain? His love, his light, come again. Baba, Baba, Meher Baba, Baba,
Rakesh,
Yes.
you want to check with Jallu once? He is on again. We want to check with him.
Okay, wait, let's see. What name is it?
Jallu, Venkataramana Jallu.
Meher Baba, with joy we sing your name. Radiant living word, forever the same. Haven't you heard his silent steps in your heart? He comes, ever comes. Hear in the sound of his sweet name. He comes, comes, ever comes. Baba, Baba, Meher Baba, Baba, Meher Baba. 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 Baba, Baba, Meher Baba, Baba, Meher Baba.
Okay, so Rakesh,
Yes.
एक बार जल्लू का चेक करें.
Yes.
Video and audio, because
Yes.
we need to check for
Yes.
Gokaran
Yes.
uncle.
Yes.
Yeah, Jallu.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, we can hear you. We can see uncle also. Can uncle see us? Uncle को बोलो जरा screen की तरफ देखने के लिए.
Can you come closer?
Okay, I'll stop sharing the screen. Jallu.
Yes.
या आपका वीडियो नहीं दिख रहा है, चलो. या वी कैन सी ना. या अभी आप फोन ना अंकल की तरफ लेके. यस यस. जय बाबा अंकल. आपको सुनाई दे रहा है बराबर से अभी? You can hear us. हाँ, good, good. Even we can hear you.
Now okay.
डॉक्टर साहब. जय बाबा. डॉक्टर साहब, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I think we will start. We can do the adjustments later. It's 5:30 already.
Yes.
Danish, over to you. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
बाबा की जय.
Danish.
Beloved Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Avatar Meher Baba Bombay Center's Sunday event, which we call the Babaful Sunday. As you are aware, the theme for this month is Baba's Mandali, and today we are going to be having a panel discussion where we have Dr. Digambar Gadekar, Sri Gokaran Srivastav, and Mr. Jimmy Khan. Our moderator for this panel discussion is going to be our very own Menosh Mehta. Before we go to the panel discussion, we will now start with Baba's Aarti, Baba's prayers. So may I request Darius to lead us into the prayers, please?
Jai Baba. O Parvadigar, the preserver and protector of all, you are without beginning and without end, non-dual, beyond comparison, and none can measure you. You are without color, without expression, without form, and without attributes. You are unlimited and unfathomable, beyond imagination and conception, eternal and imperishable. You are indivisible, and none can see you but with eyes divine. You always were, you always are, and you always will be. You are everywhere, you are in everything, and you are also beyond everywhere and beyond everything. You are in the firmament and in the depths. You are manifest and unmanifest on all planes and beyond all planes. You are in the three worlds and also beyond the three worlds. You are imperceptible and independent. You are the creator, the Lord of lords, the knower of all minds and hearts. You are omnipotent and omnipresent. You are knowledge infinite, power infinite, and bliss infinite. You are the ocean of knowledge, all-knowing, infinitely knowing, the knower of the past, the present, and the future, and you are knowledge itself. You are all merciful and eternally benevolent. You are the soul of souls, the one with infinite attributes. You are the trinity of truth, knowledge, and bliss. You are the source of truth, the ocean of love. You are the ancient one, the highest of the high. You are Prabhu and Parmeshwar. You are beyond God and the beyond God also. You are Parabrahma, Allah, Ilahi, Yazdan, Aura Mazda, and God the Beloved. You are named Izzat, the only one worthy of worship. We repent, O God, most merciful, for all our sins, for every thought that was false or unjust or unclean, for every word spoken that ought not to have been spoken, for every deed done that ought not to have been done. We repent for every deed, and word and thought inspired by selfishness, and for every deed and word and thought inspired by hatred. We repent most specially for every lustful thought and every lustful action, for every lie, for all hypocrisy, for every promise given but not fulfilled, and for all slander and backbiting. Most specially also, we repent for every action that has brought ruin to others, for every word and deed that has given others pain, and for every wish that pain should befall others. In your unbounded mercy, we ask you to forgive us, O God, for all these sins committed by us, and to forgive us for our constant failures to think and speak and act according to your will. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more and more and more and still yet more till we become worthy of union with you. And help us all to hold fast to Baba's Daman till the very end. Avtar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Before we move into the panel discussion, there is just one announcement that is to be made. In case anybody would like to ask a question or say something regarding the topic that is being discussed, we request you not to unmute yourself directly because that will distract the speakers. We request you to raise your hand virtually, which means that there is a raise hand button that is there. Darius has put the entire description of that in the chat. I will read it out for everyone's benefit as well. For anyone looking for the raise hand button, press Alt and the letter Y at the same time. If you are on an Apple or a Mac product, then press Option and Y at the same time. If you are on a smartphone or iPad or other device, then it is under the More option. Where you see More written, it is under that. If you are using an Android phone, go to More and you will see Raise Hand. Kindly click that. After you have clicked that, we will see that you have raised your hand virtually, and at the opportune moment, Menosh will then call out your name and take it forward. I will now hand over to Menosh, who will go ahead with the panel discussion. Thank you and Jai Baba.
Thank you, Danish. Avtar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to this very interesting panel discussion. I hope it is going to turn out to be a very interesting, very informative panel discussion on a subject which we are all very familiar with, on a subject which is often discussed in the Baba world, but on a subject many of us have many experiences as well, but we do not really know much. And I'm referring to the subject of Avtar Meher Baba's Mandali. Today, before we begin this discussion, I would like to welcome our panel the evening who actually need no introduction. So I have Mr. Jimmy Khan, the one and only, who needs no introduction. His smiling face suggests it all, says it all. Jimmy Uncle has been associated with the Avtar Meher Baba Bombay Center ever since he was slightly less younger than what he is today. And that association continues. Thank you, Jimmy Uncle, for being with us, and hope to hear some brilliant thoughts and stories and experiences from you. I also have with me a pleasure to introduce Dr. Digambar Gadekar, who also requires no introduction. Dr. Saab, as I very fondly refer to him always, has been a member of a family which has been in very close contact of Avatar Meher Baba since his grandfather's day. His father was a member, Ramchandra Gadekar ji was a member of Avatar Meher Baba's Mandali. And Dr. Saab himself has had the great fortune of Baba's Savas for many, many years. Thank you, Dr. Saab, for joining us. And we have another Dr. Saab with us today from joining us live from Mehrabad. So that is Dr. Gokaran Srivastav. Dr. Saab, can I see you? Gokaran ji, can I see you on the screen? Gokaran ji, आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है? Am I audible to you? Gokaran ji? There he is. There he is. Dr. Saab, thank you so much for joining us. He also needs no introduction. Coming from a family of, coming from a very old association with Avatar Meher Baba. So we have precisely an hour and 5 minutes. We can extend it by another 5 minutes. We will discuss on various aspects of this subject called the Mandali. And the panel is a very eminent panel because they've had a very long association with Avatar Meher Baba. And as Danesh had given you the instructions at the beginning, if you wish to have any questions or raise any questions, or you have anything to contribute or share, please follow the due procedure, and I will be very happy to give you the opportunity to ask any of the panelists. So before, as we jump in straight into the conversation, and of course this month is the reason why we have selected this particular theme as a theme for the month, is that in this month 3 of Avatar Meher Baba's very prominent Mandali members went to Baba. One being Baba's sister, Mani, the other being Erach, and the third being Alobaji. And as we proceed during the course of this month, every Sunday, we will have programs on Mani, on Erach, on Alobaji as well. So this panel discussion sets the tone for what is going to come for the remaining Sundays of the month. So we will jump straight into this conversation, and I would request Digambarji to open with his first few thoughts on what, according to him, is the meaning of the word Mandali. Over to you, Dr. Saab. Dr. Saab, you'll have to unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself. Unmute your mic, please, Dr. Saab.
Jai Baba.
Jai Meher Baba. Please go ahead, Dr. Saab.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Okay. Now, see, the topic for today is Baba's Mandali. And the word Mandali is a very unique word. And this word in English language is derived from the Marathi word Mandali. So in Maharashtra, during those days, I am talking about the days of this 1930s and 40s. In Maharashtra, it was a practice in every household of the married families that the wife would be referred to as Mandali. So if you go to a place of your friend, and then he will welcome you, and then he will look inside the house and he will say, Mandali, bahar ya, or Mandali, tumi kuta ahat. So that is the meaning of the word Mandali. And Baba used this word because it is the word used by a husband to his wife. It is the husband who is addressing his wife, and this addressing is out of love and affection for his wife. So Baba used this word Mandali for the close disciples who had surrendered to him and who had been living with him for a long time and who had forsaken everything for Baba's cause. And they were staying with Baba. So this is the general explanation of the word Mandali. And before I close this, there are two types of Mandali. One is the resident Mandali, and the other is the non-resident Mandali. The resident Mandali are those who were staying with Baba and who had surrendered to Baba and who were obeying Baba's orders by living in his proximity. And there was another type of Mandalis who were not living with Baba, they were living with their families, but they were living the life as directed by Baba, and they were living the life of love and obedience and service to Baba. So those were the Mandali who were not living with the Baba, and they were the non-resident Mandali. So this is general thinking that comes to my mind. Thank you very much.
Manosh, you are on mute.
Sorry. Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Jim Uncle, over to you. Very interesting thoughts from Dr. Saab, focused on the word surrender. Those who have surrendered to him are part of his Mandali, is what Dr. Gadekar said.
Yeah. Jai Baba to all. I would have said the same thing that Dr. Digambar Gadekar said. I would have said that there is resident Mandali and non-resident Mandali. And if you extend that a bit forward, there were also these arrangement walas. Well, arrangement walas had nothing to do with the Mandali, but they also kind of helped Baba in his mission. So those were the arrangement walas. But today we will not talk about arrangement walas because that's not part of our story. So this Mandali have to be those who have, Dr. Gadekar very well said, that they have left everything in their lives. They were not those who were on the streets. They came from good family. Some of them came from wealthy families, but they were what they were. That we will discuss little later. Spiritually, we'll discuss little later. But physically speaking, they kind of took it upon themselves to serve Meher Baba 24/7, giving up everything and being with Baba 24/7. So in few words, this is what I had to say. We move on further later on.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Gokaran, your thoughts, please, on this. Dr. Gokaran?
Yes, can you speak little louder?
Yes. So
Yeah.
just wanted your thoughts on the meaning of the word Mandali.
Okay. Jai Baba.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Jai Baba.
We are thankful to both of them, Professor Gadekar and our brother, for letting us know the introductory part. And actually, this Mandali goes much beyond this. If you see in terms of the 10 circle chart, Baba's 10 circle chart, where he's given 120 plus 2 in 10 circles. And the innermost circle is the first circle with 12 plus 2.
Please unmute yourself, Dr. Saab. Please unmute your mic. Can't hear you. Hello. Dr. Saab, can you please unmute yourself? Gokaran ji, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही।
Who are they actually? This is the question most important. And Baba has told about the Mandali that there are two types of Mandali. One is of a perfect master, 12 persons closer to him, and Avatar has 122 in 10 circle chart. But actually from where they are coming. So Baba has clearly in this advent, not before, in any other advent, this is explained. So Baba says that these 122 need not have connection from the very beginning of the avatar. Very beginning is the ancient one, the first drop soul, which has realized God, that is the ancient one. And at that time, he had no Mandali, but perfect masters right from the very beginning. They have connection with the souls, those who are born with him in the very beginning. When the drop soul of a perfect master comes in the creation, at the same time, companion souls are there, and these companion souls continue to be in touch with the advancing stream of this particular soul. And when that particular soul becomes a perfect master, they occupy these 12 position, the closest Mandali, and they are from the very big. An avatar can pick up anybody from anywhere. And this is a difference, most important difference. So they have past connections with the previous advents, but it is not necessary that they are belonging to the ancient one. So these past connections are there, and Baba, the avatar, picks up souls from anywhere. Anybody can be there. For example, Baba's own dog, Baba said that in next advent that he will be a human being, not only a human being, but he will be an advanced yogi. So this means that particular soul has been placed in a higher rung of evolutionary ladder. So this is how this becomes more complicated, more delicate, and when we understand this, then we have real respect for the Mandali. And Mandali now, second point, it is not just that. Second point is this, here along with Baba's own guide. Yeah, I'll just close it and later on we will talk about it. Thank you.
Please go ahead. Please finish your point, Dr. Saab. आपकी point finish कीजिए, Dr. Saab. No problem. Go ahead.
Finish kar. Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead. Please finish, complete your point.
Okay. So as we have Baba's tomb, shrine, samadhi, similarly several Mandali have their grave here, tombs are here, and in most of them their bodies are placed, in some of them their ashes are placed, both male and female. Now this is going to be very important phase in future when they will also be worshipped, because people outside the Mandali and outside Baba lovers, there are many souls who are connected to these souls, because one most important answer Baba gave, some people wanted to know the list of the Mandali. They were pressing Baba again and again, Baba, can you please give us a list of the Mandali? Then Baba just said in a very simple terms that you all are my Mandali. And we must know that Baba's words are never waste. Baba always says whatever, it is always true. So we are all his Mandali in the sense that in some future, we don't know, after thousands of births or 80,000 births, we do not know, but everybody would get a chance, because when we calculate, for example, the 122 Mandali members, Baba has said that some of them will become perfect masters in 1 or 2 lives. So each perfect master would again have 12 members. So those 12 members are already connected. Then Baba has said all the other these rings, first is connected with the second, second is connected with the third, third is connected with fourth, and so on and so forth. So if we calculate roughly, even if all 122 are not becoming perfect masters, then at least they would be mazubs or saliks. So each one will have, Baba has said, each one will have one person connected with them who will get God realization. So this number increases exorbitantly, And each one who is going to be perfect master, he has another companion of 12 and 2 ladies. So this way it is enormous number, and it is not just that we should concentrate on whatever is the Mandali. Mandali is a ever expanding thing and ever existing thing. So Mandali people will be becoming more and more perfect, and this way that more and more people will get connected to the Mandali.
Thank you, Dr. Saab. Thank you. Very, very interesting
Thank you.
point which you said, and I want to throw that to both Jimmy Uncle and Gadekji also. The point that you mentioned about having a connect with Baba, a very old and ancient connect with the avatar, seems to be one of the prerequisites for being part of his Mandali. Any thoughts on that, Jimmy Uncle or Gadekarji from your side as well?
If I have to say, I put it this way, that the fact remains in suspense that they have been with the avatar in the past as well. Very recently, in the end of July, I read that they are mine who have been coming with me again and again. So in that sense, one of the qualifications is that they have been with the avatar in the past as well. And he keeps bringing those souls again and again with him because he is in sync with them. Secondly, these souls, according to me, are very, 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 very old souls. And because they are very old souls, they have come to a certain their souls have risen to a certain level. Therefore, because they have risen to a certain level, the avatar chooses them. The avatar chooses them to bring them along with him. And as for this circle, I'm of the opinion that all the Mandali need not be in the circle. I stand corrected. But my understanding is that not each and every of the 122 who are in the circle have to be perforce in the Mandali. There could be many others who are not in the Mandali over the period of maybe 40, 50 years that Baba had Mandali from 30s to 68 and beyond. All of them need not be in the circle, but they are evolved souls, they are very old souls, and they have been coming with the avatar again and again. These are few thoughts of mine.
Digambarji, on the point of the Mandali having a very old connect with Baba, your thought? Digambarji,
Sorry, you asked.
Dr. Saab?
Yes, please.
So on the point of the Mandali having a very old connect with Baba, your thoughts? Very old connect with the avatar.
Yes. The Mandali has got a very strong connection and old connection with the avatar. And as Baba has explained in the discourses about the circles, and he describes these circles of the Sadguru. And then later on, he described the circles of the avatar. And as mentioned by dear Jimmy, the avatar circles, there are 10 circles. There are circles within circles. And the innermost circle, it consists of 14 members. And these 14 members are the Mandali of the avatar. In the 14, there are 12 men and there are 2 women. So 12 plus 2 is equal to 14. And this constitutes the inner circle of the avatar. And then outside the inner circle, there is the second circle and the third circle and fourth circle till it reaches the 10th circle. And Baba has mentioned the exact number of men and women in each circle. The second circle, for example, 8 men and 4 women. In the third circle, there are 4 men and 8 women, and so on. Till the 10th circle, there are 10 men and 2 women, equal to 12. So all these 12 multiplied by 10 is equal to 122. So in this manner, Baba has quantified the number of male and female souls who constitutes the different circles of the avatar.
Okay, so on the point of circles, I remember this little anecdote where Baba had actually written down the names of the people who constitute or are part of his circles, but of course had not revealed it to anybody. And there was a lot of great anxiety amongst the people around him to know who is in which circle, whether he is in the inner circle, outer circle, or the outermost periphery, and it went to such a ridiculous extent that I think finally that list was somewhere torn and burnt away or was given to somebody. I don't remember that, but remembers that little anecdote, because in the early days this whole thing on circles within the Mandali was a very big thing, and everybody wanted to know who will be part of who was part of which circle. Does anybody remember that little anecdote? Jim Uncle, do you remember that?
Yes. As a matter of fact, yes. As a matter of fact, at one point of time, some of the close disciples of Baba would ask among themselves, is my name in the circle? And in which circle my name is? So that would be the conversation which would go on amongst the disciples of Meher Baba during that period, in the 40s, late 40s and early 50s and like that.
Jim Uncle?
But check me, Dr. Check me, Baba did not encourage this discussion. Please tell us something more. According to me, Baba did not let them encourage and get them emotionally and mentally elevated. Am I right? Baba didn't like it.
Yes. You are absolutely right. So when discussion was going on like this, and the discussion became heated, and everybody was anxious to know where is his place, his or her place. Is he in the first circle or is she in the second circle, and so on and so forth. And this went up to the Baba. And then Baba finally said that, oh, it's okay, we stop this discussion on topic and forget about the whole thing. That's I remember very much. Exactly. But he has mentioned this in his own way in the discourses to describe the proximity of the disciples to the avatar. And he has mentioned this in connection with the circles of Sadgurus, because when he gave the discourse on Sadgurus, naturally the next higher state of consciousness after the Sadguru is that of the avatar. So there the mentioned passing reference has been made regarding this. So this was a very funny incident. Thank you, Jimmy.
Okay, before these circles take us into circles and ensure that this discussion goes around into further circles, I just had one point, and if you go back and look back at the early years after Baba was fully realized, after he completed Maharaj, and sort of and started and set up his early Mandali, the Manzalim days and the early days in Mehrabad, Baba was very fiery, extracting immense amount of discipline, obedience, the emphasis on fulfilling his orders to the T. Why do you think Baba ever did something of this kind? Why did Baba do something like this to start? Why was he so jalali in the early days?
Yes, this may I speak?
Yes,
Yeah,
please. Yes.
See, as I mentioned, there were two types of mandalis: resident mandali and non-resident mandali. And these people were given orders by Baba, personal orders, how to live. Those who were living with Baba physically, in other words, the resident mandali, Baba would give them day-to-day orders, and some of the orders would be for a longer period, and they would obey Baba's orders willingly. And those who were not residing with Baba, we may call them as non-resident mandali. To them also Baba had given instructions, because these people were following the orders of Baba, but Baba had ordered them that you go and stay and live with your families. And while living with the families, you obey my orders. So in that sense, we must realize the importance of the non-resident mandali, because they did follow Baba's orders while living in the family and performing their material duties.
Okay, Jimmy Uncle, your thoughts?
You can often tell the names also, but everybody knows the names of these resident mandali and non-resident mandali. And each of the mandali, there were male mandalis and female mandali. That means like male resident mandali and female resident mandali, and male non-resident mandali and female non-resident mandali. So it was like that.
Yeah, Jimmy Uncle?
Yeah. A thought struck me that some who
Sorry, I think it is somebody's phone which is constantly, emitting the sound. May I please request you to keep your phones or your mics on mute, please, as we speak. It's very disturbing. Thank you. Go ahead, Jimmy Uncle.
Yeah, a thought just struck me that there were some who were resident mandali, became a non-resident mandali. To give you an example, I very recently read, and very surprisingly, Sarosh Irani. We all know of Sarosh Irani of Nagar.
Yes.
It's very interesting that he was at Bombay with Meher Baba. He was at Bombay with Meher Baba when he kind of started his training period at Manzil-e-Beam. Sarosh Irani was a young teenager. He was only 18. But he lived with Baba 24/7 as a young man. And same goes with Mirji Karkaria. Mirji Karkaria was with Baba, if some of you remember, at Ahmednagar, at Mehrabad, Lower Mehrabad, Mirji was with Baba. He was with Baba. And he was a young man in his early 20s or maybe even prior to that. And Mirji's father came to, I've narrated this earlier, Mirji's father came to Baba and said that I have come to take Mirji with me. What is his future here? What is he going to do here? I want to educate him. I want to put him in business. I want him to get settled in life. And the story goes on. But the point I'm trying to make is that those who were resident mandali, some of them became non-resident mandali, but at the same time, they served Baba 24/7. If Baba said, come, they would drop everything and come to Baba and say, yes, Baba, I'm here. That kind of a thing. So you might use the word floating in the sense, first they were resident, then they became non-resident, etc., etc.
Okay. Gokaranji, a question for you is, why did, Gokaranji, are you there? Dr. Srivastav? Gokaranji? Gokaranji, are you there?
Manoj, can Rakesh give him a phone call and check? Ask
Yeah,
Rakesh.
yeah, we will just check. We'll just check on that?
Just calling him up. Just calling him up.
I can see his name on the screen, but I think there is some network issue. But we'll just come back. Since we were talking about the.
He's muted. He's muted.
Okay, all right. We know that, Ram. Thank you. Since we were on this subject of his of Baba extracting immense amount of discipline, ensuring that the Mandali followed his orders to the T, and he was very Jalali at the beginning, which was what actually was my question. Do you recount or remember any, or can you share any such which can highlight this particular point a little more in detail as to why did Baba extract such discipline and such order, and emphasize a lot on them for following his orders? To an outsider, someone who is uninitiated, it would seem like this man has gone crazy. He's asking. It's like discipline, which is far more even greater than military discipline. And why would a bunch of young boys, so there was Adi and there was Sarosh and there was Merji and there were all these very young boys who had come to Baba and started and got connected with him. And why was Baba so tough on them in the initiative?
Yeah. Members, we must understand. You just told my words. You must understand that these are teenage boys. I just said Sarosh was 18. I read it. Sarosh was 18 when he was at Manzila Mim with Baba. So they are like raw. They are like raw iron. They are like raw iron, and you have to convert this raw iron into steel. Now, how do you convert this raw iron into steel? We all know. We are not metallurgists, but common sense tells us that it is put through fire first. It is put through a lot of fire, and then it is beaten up. It is beaten up so much. It's called tempering. Maybe in the steel language, it's called tempering. You
Right.
temper the metal to make it into steel.
Right.
Now you can't. These are raw boys. These are very raw boys. They for them it is something very new. It's very new. They came from reasonably good families. Let's not forget that. They were not boys on the street. They were not urchins. They came from comforts. They came from reasonably good middle class families. And you have to suddenly put them into straight jackets. You can't do this. Now, what did your father do? What did my father do? My father was a very strict man. I lost him at the age of 11 or 12. But the only thing I remember about my father was that he was very strict. With his brother and sisters, he was very strict. With my mother, he was very strict. With the three of us, he was very strict. So you need this Jalali, you need this tempering, as we call it, to bring these young boys under control.
Okay, excellent. Great thoughts. Dr. Saab, question to you, any experiences, and since we spoke about Erach and Mani in Aloba, any experiences of yours with them since you've had a very close association with them? Any thoughts, any stories that you would like to share with all of us?
Yes, I would be very happy to share. But before that, some points I would like to clarify.
Please go ahead.
That to be a member of the Mandali or to be designated as Mandali by Baba, it was not easy. It was just like walking on a tightrope, or it is just like the bed of thorns. When we would go to Baba, I'm talking about late 40s and early 50s. And we could see how the Mandali members were totally surrendered to Baba and how they were obeying Baba's orders. So, and Baba had on time and again, Baba would get his spiritual work done through Baba would work on the Mandali. Now, what did Baba work on the Mandali? Or how did Baba work on the Mandali? So what was the work done by Baba on Mandali? So these questions appear before our mind. And as far my limited understanding goes, there are three things which come to my mind. The specific areas in which Baba worked on the Mandali. The first area is that of silence, then fast and seclusion. So fast, silence and seclusion, these are the three very important aspects or the three important tools, we can say, with which Baba worked on the Mandali. Time and again, I remember Baba would ask the Mandali to observe fast. Time and again, Baba would ask the Mandali to observe seclusion or the silence. And I remember in the 50s, maybe around 1950 or so, a circular was issued by Adike Irani. And then Baba had asked his Mandali, non-resident Mandali, who were not living with Baba, to observe silence for 1 month. And these were the people who were living with their families. And not only that, to observe seclusion along with that silence. So many of the people who were not living with Baba, but who were outside Baba's proximity, and we may call them as a non-resident Mandali, they were given orders by Baba to observe fast and observe seclusion. I remember in the year 1950 or so, when my father was still in service, he received a letter from Baba in which Baba had asked him to observe seclusion for 1 month and fast.
I think we have lost the connection with Dr. Gadekar. Jimmy Uncle, would you like to take that?
Yeah.
So share
Yeah.
your stories of Erach and
You're asking about some incident, if one can remember. Baba had, I'm talking about Manzalimin days, Baba had given some very ridiculous orders to the Mandali. You must understand that these boys, young men and boys, they were also sent out either for chores in Bombay or to work somewhere. They worked in different capacities. And one of the orders, which, as you said, some were ridiculous orders. One of the orders was that you will not talk or meet anyone when you go around. You go in trams. In those days there were trams, those days there were buses. You meet someone, you do not acknowledge someone, you don't talk to any outsider. Just go to your place of work, do your work, and come back. That's it. In between, no meddling around with anyone. And one of these boys, he was either in a tram or in a bus, and one of his schoolboy chums, he meets him. They come face to face with each other. And this guy says, suppose that Mandali guy's name is Rustam, for example. So this guy says, hey, Rustam, you remember we were in school together for 7 years. We were classmates, we were benchmates. Now this Rustam he was at Baba. He had to turn his face away. He had to turn his face away as if he didn't hear him. It is so painful. It is so painful. You meet your school chum after so many years and you turn your face. So this guy says, Rustam, it's me. Rustam, you don't remember me. You don't. What are you doing? Where are you? So this guy had to obey Baba, come what may. In his hearts of hearts, he wanted to hug this guy. But this is it, Baba's order, and Baba's order means you have to obey implicitly. So this guy was very crestfallen that after so many years I'm meeting Rustam and he behaves as if he doesn't know me. So this is one such one such ridiculous instance, but he had to obey Baba's order.
Okay, all right. We're running a little short on time, Gokaran ji is back with us. Gokaran ji, मेरी आवाज आ रही है आपको? Can you unmute yourself, please? Gokaran ji?
Ji?
हाँ जी. So just can you share with us a few of your experiences with either Eraj or Mani Aunty or Alobaji? You
Yes,
can
I
pick
will.
one of them and share with us.
Yes. First is this Alobaji's experience. As we were talking about the Mandali, the most important thing is this inner Mandali, which is 14 members. And Baba has explained that some of these members, they represent Baba's physical body, 14 parts, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears, 1 mouth, 2 arms, 2 legs, and the stem, and 2 genital organs. So that makes 14. And the Mandali, the first circle represent Baba's these inner parts of the body. And Baba said that they actually occupy the same position as the past avatars inner circle. And same position, people misunderstood that Judas is the same, Peter is the same, and someone here is born again. So Baba explained, no, they have the similar work, similar duties as Peter did and Judas did. Same is to be done by these members, but it is not that that person is reincarnated, because they all get God realization, and God realization, after God realization, one never comes again, never born again. So this is what is there, and therefore I have one experience, although this is conjectural, because ultimately our relation with Baba goes conjecturally. That means whatever feels good to me, whatever I convince with, I take it as my understanding. So it may not be common understanding, it may not be accepted by others, but I have this experience with Alobaji that he actually represented Baba's own thing of declaring that he is going to break his silence, he is going to manifest on such and such date. So many times he has given this. And Alobaji would represent the same thing again and again. And every time he would write letters to people that Baba is going to manifest on such and such day, he is going to break his silence. And after some time, he would again change the date, then again change the date, and this went on continuously. So one last time, I have my personal experience with him. Last time when he announced some date and nothing happened, then I was in Mehrazad that time, and he called me in his tea preparation room. He was making the tea, and he showed me that Baba has appeared in my dream, and now I will stop this. So I asked him, what has happened in your dream? So he said that I'm just preparing my tea here for the other pilgrims, as it was 3 o'clock tea time. So I was preparing tea as usual, and you came in without waiting for the tea to completely boil. You scooped away 1 cup and you took it away. So Baba showed me that don't be in haste like Gokaran. He has not allowed the tea to completely boil, and he has taken it. So, and what you are doing, announcing my dates of silence breaking and manifestation, it is just like the act of Gokaran. So stop doing that. And Alok told me that this is most significance. He actually personally shared with me, and he said that after this I have stopped, I would not do that. Otherwise, he would always write letters to some people in different centers, postcards he would write that next is this, which he was always changing. So this gives us a conclusion that he was represented. It may not be true for all, but it was convincing for me. So I took it that way. And second is that once, whenever we would go to Mehrazad, we were always scared of seeing Alobaji. And why we were scared of seeing Alobaji? Because he would not allow us to go to the Mandali hall, and before that, he will take us to his room and he will give us some prescription that you have to do this, you have to do that. So we would always try to avoid him so that we are able to go to the Mandali, meet Baba first and the other Mandali, and then we may go to his room. So one day, as we got down from the bus and wanted to go to the Mandali hall, he just caught us in the way and said, "Come on, both of you come to my room." And he took us to his room and he asked us, "Did you put any name decided any name for your house, new house?" So we said, "No." So come on, let us decide today. And he gave us one paper slip, each blank paper, one to Mila, one to me, and he took himself one paper slip. And in his room, there's a small wooden temple-like thing where he keeps Baba's photos inside, and that is treated like his own personal temple of Baba. So he asked us to write whatever is pleasing to us name, and he on one slip he himself wrote one name, and he folded these three slips and told us that now you go from the back side to Baba's room and put these slips on his bed, and without opening, bring them back to me. I will open it here and then we will decide what name Baba has approved. So we go and we were scared that nobody should meet us. He told us not to meet anybody, don't talk to anybody, you go straight. And that's why I go from the back side. And we came back with those paper slips and he opened those three slips, put them before Baba and he picked one. And that, whatever he picked, it was written by himself. And what it says that Meher Prem is the name he gave to our new house in Mehrabad. So he gave us that you have to put this name in bold letters in front of your house so that others can see. Now, but the question became very difficult for us because both of us came from teaching, 40 years of background of teaching, and we were very strict teachers, disciplinary. So we were thinking how people would feel Meher Prem in our house. We are so disciplined, so strict. We would ask them not to sit here, not to keep things here, this and that. So they would not feel any love here. So we avoided to put that name for a several times longer period. And one day, Meru auntie asked us, "Did you put any name? Did you decide any name for your house?" So we shared this story with Meru auntie and said, "Meru auntie, we are so scared of putting this name because we are so strict and nobody would feel love in our house." So she told us that, "What do you feel? You feel that people will come to your house to feel your love? It is Meher Baba's love. So don't hesitate to put that name. And if you have still some hesitation, then add one more word of Basera. That is the lodge, Meher Prem Lodge. And people will feel whenever they would visit your house, they will feel his love." So this is second important contribution of Alobaji in our life. Now I come to Mani Auntie, a short story which is very important. And whenever we would go back from Merazad to our place in Rewa, we were teaching. So our next door neighbor was one Baba lover, and his nephews came from some outer city, and they thought that we always distribute Baba's prasad. So whenever they would see us on the road going to our college or university, they would come running and, "Uncle, auntie, Didi, Ashima and Aparna were small that time." So they would ask them also, pester after them to give them prasad. And this became their practice. So Urmila devised one thing and she said, "Okay, I'll give you prasad only when if you make pull your ears and make 5 times sitting up and down, then I will give you prasad." So started they doing that also very easily and happily they would do that. And then Ashima and Aparna saw this, mother is doing this to them. So they also started doing this to them, same treatments. And once we were back in Merazad, so the children shared this story with Mani Auntie. That Mani Auntie in our neighborhood, there are 2 children and they asked for prasad we were giving, but now we have devised this. So Mani Auntie became serious. "You do this, come on. Then when everybody retired from the Mandali hall, then one Mani auntie called those three, Urmila and two daughters, and she joined herself. No, this is not good. You were doing very wrong thing. So now let us ask for forgiveness to Baba. And she pulled her own ear and asked Urmila and Aparna and Ashima to pull their ear, and they made 5 times sitting and getting up before Baba's chair, and then she said that it is neutralized. So this was first part of the story. Second part of the story is this, Lord Krishna's Mahabharata used to come on the TV, and once we were watching one serial, and in that what happens, Lord Krishna is sitting on a tree branch and playing his flute, and the gopis are taking bath in a pond or a lake, and they removed all their clothes. So they were all bare bodies. And Lord Krishna did not like it. So he hid their clothes, and when they came out, they didn't find. So they thought that it must be mischief of Krishna. So they were requesting, please forgive us, we will not do this. So he asked them to pull their ear and make sitting and getting up 5 times. And then he said, now you are neutralized, you are forgiven for this. Otherwise, your husbands would see and they would just turn you out of your house. So never repeat this. So this is how that the story was completed, that the forgiveness was given by Baba. For this, even we make certain things lighter and we make them playthings, so they are not for that. So this is one story of Mani auntie. And second important is all of this Arach uncle. First is this, when we just in the last days, when he was not very well, he stopped going to trust office. But once we went to Merazad to meet him, but he was not there, and they told us that he has gone to trust office. So we came to trust office just to see him, because everybody was telling us nobody is sure how long one can see LS. So we went there, and as usual, the Westerners would cordon them and they would not allow us to come close to that. And this Devana was looking after RSG. So she did not, we could see in her eyes that she didn't like us to go and meet RSG. So for calling the car or the driver, Devana went out just for a short time, and RSG called us. He noticed that we are not allowed to come close to him. So he called us, why are you sitting there? Come here, meet me. And he got up from the chair, which was very difficult for him. And then he embraced both of us and he blessed, he put his hand on our heads and has said, Khush raho, happy. So this was what is most important thing. And second is very touching. Once we were in Merazad, and you know there was a mango tree behind Arach's room, and that would be flowering and fruiting most of the year. Particularly, it would cover the pilgrim season. So once hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Saab. We can hear you.
Yeah. So Urmila saw some mangoes fallen on the ground, and she told me that go and pick up some mango. And I was scared that RSG inside and he may come out any moment and he will scold me. So I was avoiding to go there. And then when the force became too much, I just went and took 2 mangoes from the ground. And as soon as I took those mangoes and coming out of that fence, RSG appeared at the tap. He would use that tap. And I was so scared that I couldn't explain anything. And I said that Urmila has forced me to pick up. So what RSG said, sometimes it is good to steal things for your bike, and don't worry about it. So this is how that he covered up. He gave me forgiveness. And then what Urmila did, when we went back to Mehrabad, she made a pickle out of those, and in a very small container, she sent some pickle to for RFG. And then later on, Devana told me that RS did not share with anybody. He kept it with himself and he ate the whole thing. He did not even partake with me. This is the touching stories are there. So
thank you. Thank you. Some brilliant stories. We will just take a pause and now bring questions from our audience. So, anybody would like to raise? I see Sam wanted to ask a question. Sam, if you can unmute yourself and please ask your question or comment. Sam, unmute your mic, please.
This was long back, Menos, so now maybe it won't have any connect. But just one thing I remember about this inner circle and outer circle. Baba once, when all these thing was going on, this Damal, Baba once asked Eraj, what do you think about all this circle business and all? Eraj said, Baba, I don't know anything about all these circles. All I know about circles is in my school, in the geometry, they gave us this thing and we kept drawing circles and that's all I know about it. And Baba said, very good, you just stick to that. So that was one thing that struck my mind. And another thing was, in a lighter vein, Dr. Gadekar said that there are the Mandali, the word Mandali was used for the ladies of the house. So now a thought, this devilish little mind of mine, a thought crossed my mind, that we have a Bhajan Mandali in our center. To introduce our Bhajan Mandali, we should have some nice looking ladies also in the Bhajan Mandali. That is my thinking. Jai Baba.
Thank you, Sam. Thanks a lot. I think Cyrus Uncle wants to say something. Cyrus Uncle, all yours, please. You can unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Cyrus Uncle.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Since we are on the definition of the Mandali, I thought, why don't we look at it from the horse's mouth, in a sense, from what Baba had said about who is his Mandali. This I found it on page 4277 of Lord Meher, volume 12, where Erach is asking to Baba, of course, what constitutes a member of your Mandali? Who are the Mandali? And Baba answers, by Mandali, I mean those who have been with me for several years, but ask for nothing. I would say that the Mandali means those whose intimacy I feel. Baba illustrated, suppose I smoked, then I would feel absolutely 100% comfortable to do so with my intimate ones. Continuing, Baba spelled out, they are those intimate ones who all along and even now are prepared to sacrifice their all in all for me. The one who gives his life to me, who listens to me and is ready to obey me, who does not ask for any kind of reward nor care for the result, whether he is ruined or he prospers, who takes my pleasure as his pleasure, but at the same time, whose intimacy I also feel, such a one is a Mandali member. Then Erach is asking, does one have the right to call himself one of the Mandali if he himself feels intimate with you, regardless of the period of his connection with you, whether 1 year or 30 years? Baba replies, only if you find me intimate with him. Then he gives an example. Take Elcha mystery of Dehradun. I feel absolutely free with him. But if he is not prepared to sacrifice all, then he is not in the Mandali. Then Erach asks for a more clear-cut definition, asserting that only those whom Baba felt to be in the Mandali were so, and no one had the right to assert that he was in the Mandali. Baba replied, the feeling should be present on both sides. And then, of course, it goes on. So that is, as I said, from the horse's mouth as to who is the Mandali. I've
Okay.
been hearing the conversation, and this is my personal take. As I always say, my own opinion, according to my limited understanding, we are mixing up Mandali and the circle members. The circle members are totally different, and the Mandali may be in the circle members, as Jimmy said, or they may not be in the circle members. The other thing which I in a sense, what should I say, don't agree with is the thinking is that the the circle members keep repeating incarnation in the avatar's circle. According to me, Baba said, that all those who are in the circle, all the 10 concentric circles, I mean, not just the inner circle, they get God realization in the avatar before the avatar comes again. That is my understanding. So once they are God realized, there is no question of their reincarnating or coming back again. Baba had also said, for example, that Erach is my Peter and Bauji is my John. And he clarified, it does not mean that the same soul as Peter has come, because that is only the office that is occupied. And so the souls keep on different. The souls are different. They are not the same souls, because if they were the same souls coming over and over again, then people like you and me don't stand a chance to move on towards the so-called Mandali. So that's
Okay.
what I want.
All right. Thanks. We are running a little short on time. So, Jim Uncle,
I'm fine with that. I'm done. Thank you.
Any other questions from anybody else? Anybody?
Meherchand Noori has raised his hand.
Yes, Merchant. Jai Baba, all yours.
Jai Meher Baba,
Jai Baba.
I just want to say that Baba has compared the 14 persons, that is 12 plus 2, the body of the parts of the body. And the moment they born, they start functioning. Similarly, the Mandali, which the 12 plus 2, they start functioning as per the directions of the avatar. And I want to just share with that. And second thing, the Mandali, all the circles of total 12 plus 122 people is not the same person, but the persons will differ from the each avataric period, but office is the same. I want to clarify.
Thank you, Merchant. Thanks a lot. Anything else? Okay, Jim Uncle, back to you. Any experiences quickly of Mani and Erach Uncle that you wish to share with us?
Manoj, we have terribly run out of time, so I will just
go ahead. I am managing the time. You go ahead with the stories.
I'll just touch upon Mani Auntie. Because we
can share.
We don't have time. See, normally, I would, if there is a very good speaker, I would say he's talented. But if that guy is not only a good speaker, but is also a good singer, I would call him multi-talented, right? Because he or she is talented not in one faculty, but in two. Now, let us see about Mani Auntie. I don't know what definition you would give for Mani Auntie. And I have to write it down because there are so many of these good things. Let's take first thing, writer. Mani Auntie was a writer, and I've divided writer in ABC. First is family letters. Family letters are written by Mani Auntie. Some of you may know what are family letters, some of you may not know. I will not go into them today because there is no time. There are 82 family letters. It is compiled in a book form, which is in the Center's library. Whoever wants to read it, pick it up and read it. The point I'm trying to make about family letters is, we have to understand that she only did senior Cambridge, after which she joined the Women Mandali. You have to read these family letters to read good, flowery English. I know what is good English, but when I read family letters, I realized what is superlatively good English. So that is in the family letters. The other is plays and gags and skits. When Baba went on long tours, must tours or whatever tours, Baba told the Women Mandali that when I come out tired and haggard, keep something ready to entertain me. And it was this Mani Auntie He would write these plays or skits or gags or whatever it is. So she was the one who wrote. And lastly, songs. She wrote songs as well. The song which Katie Auntie sang, Mane Apa Pandar Rupya, that song was also written by Mani Auntie. So she was a multifaceted writer, not in one direction, but multifaceted. Let's go further down. Singer. Mani Auntie was a good singer. She would sing in the Mandali hall. We have heard her singing in the Mandali room, etc. She was a good singer. Actor. Mani Auntie was a good actor. She would act very well. In the plays and the skits which she wrote, she was one of the lead actors. She was the director. Not only did she write the plays and she acted in the plays, she also directed, all the plays were directed by Mani Auntie. She was a mimic. She was a born mimic. Now, if you ask me to mimic someone, I'll be a flop, complete flop. I can never tell a joke and I can never mimic someone. But Mani Auntie was so good, you can't, for a moment, you can't imagine that this is Mani Auntie. You imagine that character. She was that talented, that good. She was a storyteller. You need kind of an art for storytelling. She was par excellence at storytelling. She was a joker. She was such a jolly person. She was such a great joker. You need talent to be a good joker. She was a child with children. She was a kid with kids. I've seen it myself, how she came down from her age, 50s, 60s, 70s. She came down to a kid's age. She has played with my children, so I know it. She has played with so many Baba children that I know of. She became a child with children. You need to have something in you to do that. Compassionate. I saw so much compassion in her as a human being. When my mother died, I went to Mirazad and I cried. Though she died at 87, I cried. And she was the one who was sitting next to me and she pacified me, etc., etc. She was a typist. She was a typist because these 82 family letters and the other correspondence she typed. So she was a typist. And lastly, a woman who had never went out, who never worked in an office, she became the chairman of the trust. Now you have to conceptualize how do you call her? What do you call her? Multi-talented is too low.
Multifaceted personality.
Yeah, multifaceted, absolutely.
But, you spoke about Mani Auntie being a great mimic, and apparently she had this talent in her from her childhood days. So I just recollect reading a very, very funny story, a very humorous story, that Baba in the very early days, when he and the women Mandali were staying at the post office next to the railway lines in Mehrabad, had ordered Mehra's mother Daulat Mai to meditate and say on him and say his prayers, or some such order every single day for a certain time period. And Mani Auntie was just 6 or 7 years old when whenever she would come, she would see Daulat Mai sitting and saying her prayers, and Mani couldn't resist but to mimic Daulat Mai, and she started to tease her and pull her leg and started saying those. She didn't know a word of those prayers in Persian, but the tonation and the voice modulation that she did, Daulat Mai actually stopped saying her prayers and started looking at Mani Auntie in amazement that this is such a little girl of 6 years old and she's saying these Persian prayers absolutely fluently, whereas Mani was only making sounds of saying it in Persian. And Mani was enjoying that, fooling poor Daulat Mai, and poor Daulat Mai was doing this under Baba's order. And then as Mani was pulling her leg more and more, who comes over there? Beloved Baba. He stands over there and he sees, and he was so angry with Mani, and Mani was all of 6. So Baba takes an earthen pot, puts that pot on Mani's head in such a way that it covers her face completely, and pushes her into the corner of her room, makes her turn around and stand. Now, this is your punishment. Never, never harass anybody who is saying her prayers. That is what Baba said. Now, Mani was standing in the corner with the pot completely covering her head and face. And then Khorshed comes over there, who was also one of the women Mandali. And Khorshed, looking at Mani, started laughing loudly, saying how funny Mani looks with the pot on her head. And Baba again happens to come there, and Baba sees Khorshed saying this. So he takes another pot, puts it on Khorshed's head, and makes Khorshed also stand over there. And all the women Mandali decided, who couldn't, who are laughing uproariously at this particular situation, decided that it is better not to laugh inside the room and disturb Daulatmai. Let us all go out and laugh and have a great time. So that is Mani Aunty for you. What a brilliant life. And of course, Alobaji's stories, as so brilliantly explained by Gokaranji. We will of course talk about Alobaji during the course of this month. But there is one story of Erach which I would want to narrate, and probably will end this panel discussion with. That has touched me immensely. I happened to read it many years back. I read it once again. I mean, we've spoken a lot about who is the Mandali, and circles and concentric circles and geometric circles, which is all fine, and as Sam so very rightly said, Baba told Erach and all of us not to worry about it. So whether we agree, disagree, that's a different point of view. But I think it is the quality of the heart. My own personal experience of being with Baba's Mandali, I was very, very young. I was actually a little child when I met Erach and Mani and Meramai. And I've seen them over the years. The only thing that touched me immensely was their 100% dedication and devotion to Baba. That was one. And second, the amount of love that they showered on you made you feel extremely special. And that is something which that feeling is something which will never go away. Every time today when I go to Merazad, if there is one thing that I miss, it is that feeling. The warmth, the love that all of them gave. Alobaji was a very strict person, but there was a lot of love in his heart. The same was with Erach, the same. They expressed their love differently. Mani was, all over you when you walked in, and she would play with you and ask you all the questions. And Erach uncle was a little reserved in terms of the way he spoke. Of course, he would open up after a point in time. Alobaji had this unique way of doing things, but they were all very unique individuals in their own way. But they showered immense amount of love. And this story of Erach is from Rustam Falati. And Rustam apparently had many years ago, I mean, this is his story and something which has touched me, that he had a problem which was there was some problem which he was facing, and he went to Erach to find a solution to that particular problem. And instead of giving him the answer or the solution, Erach simply told him, remember Baba more and more. Try and do it whenever the problem bothers you. Do it patiently and it will get resolved. Now, Rustam was thinking that Erach is trying to avoid the problem. So Rustam says, Erach, I'm already remembering Baba. I'm thinking of him, but the problem is not getting solved. And what you are saying is something which is extremely ambiguous. And Erach replies, I have given you the correct solution to your problem, but you don't want to follow it. Now Rustam protested, saying, I'm already remembering him. How will that solve my problem? Erach says, you are not remembering him. And this time Rustam got irritated and he said, what makes you think that I am not remembering? And Erach said, one who is remembering Baba does not assert in the manner that you did just now. He is always conscious of those moments during the day when he was unable to remember him. He makes a conscious effort to fill up even these moments with his beloved's remembrance. The more he does that, the more he begins to feel that he is not doing enough. And when the feeling is constant, then it can be said that such a one is remembering him. When you remember Baba in this manner, all your so-called illusory problems will disappear. Try to work towards that. Now, Rustam says that was a very tall order for him. But now that Erach had explained the meaning of true remembrance, he says, I realized how petty I was in terms of my remembrance of Baba. In fact, I realized that I had not even begun to play the game of remembrance the way real lovers of God play it. But the story does not and Rustam was really exasperated by that problem, and he just said, "Oh Baba, when will all this end?" So he always used to say this in Gujarati. I remember Erach uncle towards the last years would always say, "I badu kare puru thase." So he said, "Oh Baba, when will all this end?" And now Rustam started teasing Erach. He said, "Erach, when you remember Baba in the manner that real lovers of God remember him, all this will end." Rustam tries to turn the tide. Now look at Erach. Look at the humility. Look at that love and that faith and that surrenderance in him. Rustam says, I was throwing Erach's words back at him, waiting to see what he said. What Erach did was totally unexpected and surprised me no ends. He said, "You are right. I am not remembering Baba enough through the day." This comes from a man who has spent his entire life with beloved. Then he folded his hands, bowed down his head in all humility, and said, "Thank you, Baba, for reminding me this. Thank you for sending Rustam along to remind me that I am not remembering you the way you should be remembered." Rustam says, "Seeing Erach do this touched my heart and made me realize how great and spontaneous his remembrance of the Lord was." And the important word here is spontaneous. How great was his humility. For I know I myself would have taken offense if somebody would have suggested that I was not remembering Baba. But Erach thanked me. To him, it was his Lord who reminded him. It was his Lord who sent me along. Watching this that day, I wondered if I would ever succeed in managing to remember Baba the way he did. And if I ever did, I wondered how many lifetimes of efforts I would have to put in to reach that goal. Such humility is very touching. As we go forward, we will of course share our own personal experiences of Erach. I really want to thank Jimmy Uncle, Gokaranji, and Digambar Saab. Dr. Digambar unfortunately had to drop off because of connectivity issues. But thank you for joining in, and I truly hope that this short discussion on a vast subject like his Mandali has at least sowed the seed for us to remember, to think, and to reflect on this subject as we proceed for the remaining Sundays. So thank you to all of you. And before we close this session, last Sunday, unfortunately, I could not announce the passing away of one of our very dear Baba lovers, the wife of our dear M.R. Murthy. So unfortunately, that could not happen. I know some of you were upset about it, and I'm very sorry about it. So I would request all of us to please join in for a minute's silence in remembrance of M.R. Murthy's wife Padma. She was ailing for a very long time. She and her family are are devoted to Baba. Our deepest condolences to our dear Rajendra Murthy and his son Karthik. May I please request everybody to remain silent in remembrance of dear Padma, and may beloved Baba take her in his embrace completely. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. Thank you for joining in, and we will now go ahead with. I hand over to Danish. Danish, if you can, if you're able to hear me, please tell us what is the next part of the program before we conclude for the day. We will again connect back next Sunday at 5:30, either on Money or Airach or on Alobaji with a special program. We will let you know during the course of the week. Thank you, and over to you, Danish.
Jai Baba, everybody. It is sharp 7 o'clock, and we have Mervina who will now lead us with the Aarti, after which we will conclude the program for the day. We had planned to have the meditation, but due to the fact that we ran a little late, we will carry forward the meditation to next Sunday. We will see you all next Sunday at 5:30 for our Babaful Sundays. Over to you, Mervina, and Jai Baba, everybody.
Thank you, Danish. बुझावे नार जलकनी एकर कुदरत ने फरमा तू छलागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे मातू आया मोर शद में है बाबा चरण पर तुझ न धरिए सर खुदाना जात थी वाके फतेह बैठो मेहर बातू तुझे माँ लेख हकीकत नो तो आशिक बीने आरे भी तुझे दरियाए वहदत मारिफत नो होई तो पातू हमोर है रमने साले वखस्टे ज्ञान सदनो कि तू पर महात्मा ज्ञानी छेने मो तारेर फातू उदाना प्रेम नो प्यालो पिलावी मस्त हमने कर छे तुझ पर जान सदके ताकिया पीरे पे मातू हमारी नाव भर दरिए तरावी तो हमें तरिए हमारा ना खुदा है मेहर बाबा चलिए बातू हमारा ना खुदा है मेहर बाबा चलिए बातू बुझा दे नार जलतनी एकर कुदरत ने फरमातू छलागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे मातू अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय अवतार
मेहर बाबा की जय
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय
Thank you, Melvina. Thank you very much, everybody. See you all next Sunday. Beloved Avatar, Meher Baba Ki Jai. Thank you. Have a Babaful Sunday. Jai Baba.
Thank you.